Today is Tuesday, April 10th, 2012, and this is the Pastel Pony Podcast. I'm your host, Bos de Sueños. Oh my, fillies and gentle colts of the audience of faraway lands and nearby lands. I am not dead yet, but I am also not better. I am not better to the point where I have spent the past week sick and then got 4 hours of sleep last night and 4 hours of sleep the night before. So, this podcast could be very interesting or it could be very boring as I die halfway through in a coughing fit and, pass out and go to sleep forever. The very first thing I want to talk about, obviously, there is no episode this week. I'm sure you can see that by the fact that the podcast is going up very late on Tuesday, possibly Wednesday for some of you in other lands. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I'm sniffling and coughing here. Most of it will get edited out, but it's still there. So, couple of things that I wanted to talk about. First thing, I am going to try to do the Chatlog. I think my throat will let me, as long as I don't go into really high registers like Pinky's voice. But if I start coughing and I lose it, I may just have to stop partway through. There's also not much of a review this week since I only got the chance to watch it once. But I will give you brief thoughts and then attempt to do the Chatlog after news. News! I should have some kind of awesome scene transition for news. I should make that music at some point. Anyways, that brings me to point number 2. Here's the thing, guys. This show, I love this show, and I love you guys. What I don't love is the amount of time that I have to put into every episode, because I don't know if you guys realize this, but I hate editing so much. I would put out 3 or 4 episodes a week if I had time, if I didn't have to edit them. But as it stands, because of the amount of time that I have to spend editing, I hardly want to do one every 2 weeks, let alone more than that. So, I have a couple of options for you guys to choose from, but this, I suppose last week, will have been the last time that things were as they were up until episode 39. But here's what I want to do. I'm going to give you guys a couple of options, and depending on the response I get, will depend on how the show changes from here. I cannot afford the amount of time that I spend on this show anymore. So, I want to give you guys a couple of choices. Either, one, I can break this into seasons and take long breaks in between, maybe a couple of months, like a TV show. Because that seems like the option that people will like the least, and I understand that. Or I can put out an episode every 2 weeks and see how that goes, because I think that that's a more reasonable schedule for me. Because getting sick has shown me that trying to put out an episode and a podcast every single week is just so much work. So, doing it every 2 weeks with the podcast every week if there's enough material, because there obviously is during the season, but during the off season, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, we're only, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks away from the end of the season. And then we will see what happens, and if we have an explosion of creativity like we did last year, or if we start to go into a little bit of a lull. I expect a more explosion of creativity kind of thing, but anyways, back to the non-tangential thinking and back to the original point. I could do an episode every 2 weeks with a podcast every week as long as I have enough material. Or, and this is my favorite option, I would be willing, if anyone is interested, message me and we'll talk about this. Because honestly, guys, ask anyone who has talked to me via private messages before. It can take me 2 or 3 days to respond with like 5 words. That's how busy I am when I'm trying to get this show out. And the thing is, I love voice acting. The only thing I love as much as voice acting is drawing and painting. But, because of audio editing, I almost never get the chance to do that. I would much rather be applying for every single pony project out there to try to get a voice. I would rather be putting out 2 episodes a week. Because recording isn't that much time for me. But editing is like 4 to 5 times as long as the recording length, if not more. Certain things that that I put a lot more love and care into, like Past Sins and So Long, are even longer. Because I try to do fancy editing tricks and stuff. So here's the third option. Option number 3 is that someone with audio editing experience steps up and offers to do the editing for me. So those are your 3 choices, guys. I can't keep doing this every week. It's just too much for me. And I'm sorry about that. I wish that I had more free time. I wish that there were 28 hours in the day that I could be able to do this as much as I had been. But I want to keep painting and drawing. I'd like to actually have time to review more fics. And honestly, I want to put more into the acting aspect of the fics to begin with instead of having flat recordings. Because a lot of the more recent ones have been very flat for me just because I've been too tired to give it a performance and I just read them. Which is cool for some stuff, and some stuff it's funny for, but I would rather actually perform and give actual acting and do a lot of voice work. So, if anyone has audio editing experience and would be interested in becoming the new audio editor for this, for Voz de Sueños After Dark, I would still do the podcast and maybe certain episodes that I cared more about, or extra little things, but the vast majority, I wouldn't. So, and obviously, if someone decided to step up and had enough experience, I would share with them any tricks and tips that I knew about. For example, like ways to get certain sentences to sound right, or words to do things that they shouldn't, and I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought. This has gone on for far too long. Point being, so those are your 3 choices. Someone can become my editor for Voz de Sueños After Dark. I can change it and only do seasons of maybe 15 to 20 episodes. Or I can do it every other week. So let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in becoming an editor, message me and we'll talk. The way that I'll do that is I'll probably, assuming, here's the thing about next week, so this is the next thing for next week. I would like to do Past Sins 12, because I believe Betty Gloom and Penstroke have had enough time, and I'm clear to record that. But I'm still not positive if my voice is going to let me, and if I'll have time to edit it. So here's the thing. If I end up getting an editor, an audio editor, what we will do is I will edit a couple of episodes while they also edit the same raw audio file. We'll see whose is better, and we'll start to compare them, and I'll teach someone to take over for me. Just not someone that has 0 experience. But, so those are the 3 options. I'm going to move on, sorry. Next thing. Interestingly enough, Osieth, one of the people who's been with me for a couple of the Rated Cupcakes recordings, has also talked about occasionally hijacking the channel to post some of his recordings, basically doing exactly what I do. He has said he's interested in doing that and would like to record fics that I haven't been recording. I don't know if he's taking requests. I don't know how he's doing stuff. I just know that he told me he would like to start reading fics and thinks that that would be a good way to introduce him to some. I don't know how serious he is about it, but he has mentioned it more than once, so I thought I'd mention it on here. Next, James Cork has an awesome little project that you should all check out. It is called Ask Movie Slate. I know that a bunch of bronies are on Tumblr, so if you're on Tumblr and you need more things to entertain you, check this out. It's got excellent artwork and it's really entertaining. It's basically a pony whose job is to review movies and just make random little commentaries on snippets of things that have come out recently. It's cool stuff. I loved the artwork. I especially loved the pony. Movie Slate has film tape for hair and awesome magic and stuff. I like the color of Movie Slate's magic, and instead of eating popcorn, Movie Slate eats marshmallows. Look at it. You look at it. Do it. Next, he also mentioned to me, I sort of knew about this, but I completely forgot about it when we did the revisit of Le Petit 4. Interestingly enough, there actually is a girl who has sung it before with music. And she's said she's looking to do a full version. So I'm going to link to that. If you liked the horrible attempt at our singing it, I think you'll like this even better. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Command Spry. Oh my god. So I know that some of you like Trollfix and you think it's the most hilarious thing in the world. Command Spry has started a new channel for doing recordings. And in addition to that, see, this is the great thing. Although I don't have an episode this week, he has 2. And they're both hilarious and wonderful, and I love them. The first one is called Communist Equestria. And all the little good children should check it out now. Yes. And there was break number 1 to die of coughing. We'll see how that chatlog goes. The Communist Equestria is a fic he wrote himself to record as a troll, and it's hilarious. Now, those of you who watch my DeviantArt have seen this. Maybe. Those of you who don't have no idea. I tried... coughing death break number 2. Last week, when I was sick and tired and missing one of my only days off and dealing with taxes, horrible, horrible tax things, I got so angry that I decided to write a troll fic. And I made it as bad as I possibly could. And it's not nearly as bad as Spiders is. I really tried. But you don't even have to read it. Because you know what? Command Spry, I asked him, when he sent me Communist Equestria, I was hoping that his excellent skills as an artist could help me make mine even worse. Instead, he responded by reading the first 2 chapters and the epilogue, which comes before the end of the fic, because that's the way I work. So, it's called Mr. Bigpants McFailicorn. I'm not even going to say any more than that. If you're interested, check it out. Now, I have sort of review things this week. I have a bunch of things to mention, very little I've actually read. Jimmy asked that I check out Silence is Bittersweet because we were having a conversation in the comments about how I rarely do fics that are interesting to him, and I apologize for that. I try my best. I should take more requests, but I'm so lazy. I'm sorry. I really am. But I got through a couple of paragraphs, which admittedly is an accomplishment given how little time I've had and how sick I've been. But it's also enough that I want to keep reading it. Silence is Bittersweet by True Hearted is a fic about, I believe you pronounce it Acoustania or Acoustania. It's a made-up word. I don't know how it's pronounced. But it looks like acoustic, so I'm going with Acoustania. Anyways, she's mute and she's a musician. It's well written. It's very descriptive and kind of florid and delicious. Things that you want to see in a fic. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but Maxi Pony, who, interestingly enough, needs to get me pictures because awesome miniatures coming your way. I will talk more about them as they come out, but also writing a fic called Rapture. I admit I have not read as much as I wanted to. I think I've mentioned it before, but it's still cool. Interesting premise. You should check it out. It's all kinds of worlds. The description is, in the midst of Nightmare Moon's second return to power, the Dark Queen banishes Luna along with the elements of harmony to a violent primeval realm beyond the stars. Coughing death break number 3. I'm not going to get to that chat log today, guys. I'm almost tempted to leave this coughing in here so you can hear how horrible it is, but I don't want to rape your ears. So, suffice it to say, no chat log. I have considered posting the chat log in a Google Docs or some such thing. I'd be happy to do that if you'd like to see it. Or possibly in a couple of days post it as a separate video, maybe? I don't know. You'll have to tell me. I just... voice doesn't like me right now. Okay. Now, another one The Birds and the Bees by the worst writer, which is definitely not true. But it's a Cutie Mark Crusaders fic about how they're trying to figure out how reproduction works as a result of seeing Bon Bon pregnant, I believe, and Lyra being upset about it or something, or vice versa. Either way, I know that they don't find out the actual answer. I haven't finished it yet, but I like it. It's cool stuff. One of my good friends, Anonymous, which is spelled in a completely different way than that, has started a Fallout fic. Something Lone Marine transported to Equestria. I haven't looked at it yet, because it's only been up for a day or two, but I'm excited. You know how much I love Fallout. I will post a link to all of these things. Additionally, Cody and Mr. E380 have been working on a fic about Pinkamena. I have read some of it. It's interesting. It's definitely all murdery and grimdark. So, look at all of these fics I have for you this week. So many fics. You can check out fics, and I can tell you more about them when I've actually had a chance to read them. But until then, stuff. And I believe that's where I'm done at this point, because I am... Oh! Lies! There is one more thing left. The last thing that I have to mention is that another one of my fans, who is the Flying Spinosaurus here and not Epic elsewhere, has made a Google Chrome theme specifically for this podcast, which is freaking awesome. If you use Google Chrome and you like themes and stuff, check it out. It's cool. In addition to that one, when I was looking at it to install it, apparently there are also many other themes by him. Her. Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus is a gender, right? Anyhow, so if you like Google Chrome themes, check it out. All of that cool stuff. It's like you got a real podcast this week, even though I'm dying. Let me know about things. Alright. Despite my feeling of dying, I am still going to try to go through the chat log. If I cough more than 5 more times, I'll probably be done. Hot dickings? My eyes are burning! Oh, wait a minute. I should probably give you my thoughts on the episode first, huh? It was an awesome episode. Lots of inside jokes, cool stuff. Loved it. Hot dickings! My eyes are burning! 30 seconds, every pony. This show needs more pony. Feels so dirty. Oh, thanks, Celestia, it's over. Yay! Spoiler. Celestia did it, calling it now. Nom nom. Stop! Pony time. Pony time! Where's the toddlers when you need them? Wait, it's a real episode? He carried a fucking house! Wow, what is that cake made of? Couldn't they just get a cart? The cake is incredibly dense. The cake is dark matter. Pegasistance. Doubt. The cake is made of bricks. Cart would probably break. What are wheels? Can't she just levitate it by herself? The bubble returns. Too much assistance. Teleport? If Mr. and Mrs. Cake were smart, they would have made the cake in layers and assembled it at its destination. We'll pay 8-to-1 odds Fluttershy did it. Any takers? Stop selling your wares. I have no money for you. Sool, motherbucker! A hero from the future. Be patient, child. I want ponies back. Not enough ponies. Disproportionately low amount of ponies. Implying I actually had the hub. Hoof slap. The IJ orgasms from the cake. Do want. A griffin! Griffin. Spy griffin. A challenger approaches. Eclairs. Donut copia. Hey, Donut Joe. Donut Joe, another donut! Extra sprinkles? Forever. Chocolate mousse. I get it. Joe Do Done did it. Called it. Julia Child? Lamo, this is amazing. Oh, snap. Everyone's a suspect. Twilight is hot. So much delicious all in one room. We have to protect them. It's the middle of the day. Is the new Bloomberg. Crackle-ate the cake. Calling it now. Pinky did it. She'll watch it forever. That element of loyalty. The cake is a Time Lord. Ninja Cake. Dashy. Fluttershy. That's a mystery. And before conductor. Who turned off the moon? Rape! And before Pinky gets kidney stolen. Ghost! Overreacting my plot. fell asleep. She's so adorable when she sleeps. I bet it was me. Game over, man, game over. All these reaction faces. Gasp. It's definitely Pinky. It's Trixie. Dun dun dun. No. That's soundbite. It was Gummy. It was the cakes. Nom. It's never Trixie. Quit bashing Trixie. She just wants a friend. Cuddle up, it's... What the fuck? Sweet Celestia, what is this? I'll get the Vaseline. Demon spawn. It was the train. Proboscis puppets. Pony time. Who done it? Dad Pinky scream. Twilight is a grammar Nazi. Pinky Holmes and Twatson. Twy Watson. Clue. Rarity's hair. Yes? No? 'Cause I know who did it. Yeah. Stop right there, Care. Dastardly achievement. Well, she suspects the Griffin first. This is the best cartoon ever. My brain. It's exploded by all the wind. Cake shotted. Back to Sherlock. I'm Pinkie Pie. That's how. Yay. 007. Oh my god, what? Lol, what? Yes! James Bond! It was all Fluttershy. He gets all the fillies. James Hooves. Milk shaken, not milk stirred. There's a lot of British in this episode. A lot of really bad British because my voice won't do what I want it to. He's getting laid tonight. Donut Joe is badass. Rather dapper. Bitten, not sliced. Ninja Mule. Chocolate mousse that wobbles like jelly? Seems legit. Secret Agent Mule. Blame everyone. Get results. Kill Bill? What kind of ninja uses a frying pan? It was Applejack. Well, that was epic. It was the princess. She's the troll. Samurai Jack nostalgia. Saboteur. Gummy, how did you get in here? It's a Parasprite. It's the Coal Man. It was me. It's Rainbow Crash. It was Derpy. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is now on Netflix. Damn straight it is. Quit making fun of Derpy. Twilight is now the boss. Finally, Twylock Holmes. Covering her tracks like a mastermind. Caboose. Let's split up, gang. Plot. Scooby, Shaggy, do whatever you usually do. Pipe-smoking Twilight is amazing. She's picking up crumbs. Twilight did it. She's hiding the evidence. Stop hiding the clues. Twilight, why you no show evidence? Apple Bloom. Every pony in the Griffin. Oh god, the mystery is killing me. Case solved. And nope. False lashes. Not Fluttershy. Spy. Oh snap. Fucking Rarity. So it was everyone. Moose in his mustache. Sprinkles in her wrinkles. What the fuck? AJ didn't do anything? Is it a coincidence that all the clues rhymed? Everyone is guilty. She ate the fourth wall. Keep Celestia away from the cake. That looked like the master. And that was the Chatlog. I didn't die. Aren't you impressed? I am. I'm actually surprised I'm still alive. But that actually brought up a couple of points I meant to mention earlier in the podcast. First off, most amazing thing, Friendship is Magic is on Netflix. Sadly, for you outside of America, it's only American Netflix. United States Netflix. But maybe it will go international eventually. Additionally, fun stuff, for those who have Netflix in the United States, we're actually being told, I don't know how true this is, but it's rumored, Netflix will get all of Season 2 a little bit after, maybe a week or two after the Royal Wedding airs. So we'll have Season 2 available almost immediately. I don't know if that's true, but I am excited and hope it is. Deadly Coughing Break, number 4, 6, 7, 8, 12, I don't know. It was a lot. But the final thing that I wanted to mention was I actually took a look at Fetlock Holmes. I think that skipped my memory a couple weeks ago when I started reading it. I want to get back to it, but it's very well written. It reminds me a bit of the new Sherlock on the BBC, which is fantastic. I love it so much. And by extension, most Sherlock Holmes things that are well written and have good active thought involved are fun. Fetlock Holmes is also very good. And I was reminded of that because Twilight is amazing. This episode ranks probably a little higher than my top 10. It might not be top 5, but I try not to judge them like that. Still, I really loved this episode. I thought it was a very good use of inside jokes, outside jokes, old references, and facial expressions, voice acting. Everything was spot on for this episode. The plot was predictable, but besides that, it was awesome. Look at this. You guys get like a 25-minute podcast when I'm sick and dying. So, I apologize for not having an episode for you this week. At least I got to talk to you. So, this is Vostes Muñoz signing off. I hope that I will be back next week with an actual episode. Safe travels, every pony.